Hunger Bites with the Urban Dweller. Hello friends, I go by Nedima Neta, aka the Urban Dweller, the Food Justice Crusader, here to share news from the movement. In this inaugural episode, I will tackle hunger. So what exactly is hunger then, or how do you go about defining that biological phenomenon? So I guess there's some that would kind of define hunger as basically a lack of calories, but I think we can go even simpler than that. So to me, at the most basic level, hunger is that painful sensation that you get, that churning in your stomach when you haven't had something to eat in a number of hours. And I think it's very important to ground hunger in that physiological sensation that you feel, in that pain that you feel, because then it defines our work as activists. Because being able to define hunger as something that hurts and not some abstract idea really changes the way you interact with it. So I guess the first type of hunger is really that empty sensation. That's empty, painful sensation in your stomach when you haven't had something to eat. And that can be addressed partly by increasing intake of calories of basically any kind, right? So that's like they're band-aid solutions to hunger at that basic level. But then the second type of hunger, hidden hunger, is more insidious. So hidden hunger is like a term that's gaining a lot of traction in within food security movement or food sovereignty movement. I guess it goes up a level. It's like a next level type of hunger in which it's characterized by a lack of key micronutrients and vitamins that are necessary for proper development and cognitive function. So micronutrients are stuff like vitamin A or vitamin E that you need in or even folate or iron that you need in very small quantities. But if you're lacking these things, it has devastating consequences on your growth and your development, especially young children. So micronutrient deficiencies, can lead to irreversible changes in the brain structure and functional capacity of growing children. So within the first 5 years of life, and even within the mother's womb, if the fetus or the growing child experiences micronutrient deficiencies, this can have really devastating impacts on the brain structure and then also downstream impact cognitive function. So this can also obviously undermine educational attainment and adult productivity as the child grows up, and then also contributes to perpetuating cycles of poverty. So it goes beyond food. It really goes beyond food, because then you're talking about how lack of food at key stages in human development impact human capital as an adult. So basically the take-home message from today's episode, I guess, is basically that in the food justice movement, or as activists, I think the first thing that we have to do is define the problem that we're trying to tackle or address. So then what is hunger and what different types of hunger exist? So today we found out, or we went over two types of hunger. So hunger as the physical sensation, the pain of being hungry, and then hidden hunger, which refers to micronutrient deficiencies, which impacts cognitive development and human capital as adults. So basically, defining this problem in this way is important because it colors the way you address it. So it colors nutritional policies and interventions that are spearheaded by NGOs and not-for-profits in developing nations and even within developed nations. So defining the problem is definitely the first amazing, my thumbs up. It's the first step, yes. So in the next episode, we'll tackle food security and food sovereignty. So I bet, oh Lord, I bet you didn't know there was a difference between food security and food sovereignty. So we'll get into that in the next episode, and I'll try to do this at least every 2 weeks or once a month. No promises, but I do hope that you've enjoyed this first episode of Hunger Bites with the Urban Dweller.